Hi folks, a strange thing happened today while I was on my way to the doctor's. Well, I will be on my way in a bit, I'll have some injections, but that's the knee. But I've just made a forge for forging, a gas forge, and I got an alert about 10 minutes ago from Win Media at the World for Change that they're doing a knife making broadcast, let's say. So I thought it was rather appropriate. So I'm just going to post this and I'll put the details in about the broadcast for the knife making. Some people might be interested in that stuff, I certainly am. And you'll see me forge, and I'll do an update on it running, because at the moment it's curing. And yeah, coincidence, eh? Small world. Hey folks, well, this is something I've always wanted to do. Well, it's part of something I wanted to do. One off my bucket list. I haven't kicked it, I'm not going soon, but what I'm trying to build here is a forge. I've always wanted to make my own knife, and a little forge would help a lot. Now, I think that cost me 10 francs for that. I've got half a bag of cement, sand and cement mix that's from something else, which I'm going to use up. The tin, it's actually an ice bucket. It's Desperado party pack. It came with beer. The tin was free, so I like that. These bits are angled aluminium. I'm going to put on as stabilisers, left and right, to keep it nice and level. And the tube in the middle here will go like that. I'm going to fill it up with homemade refractory cement. This pipe will go in here for my burner. And I think with the cement, even though I did buy the cement as well, I think this is going to stand me at about, I don't know, 25 francs. So this is what I'm going to build. Now, if I could do it bigger, I could also do a foundry, which might be something later. Because what I'm basically using this for is, well, heating metal to work it for knives or whatever else. Maybe I've got another little project what I really want to do, but I'll explain that later. And but with a wider drum, which I'm sure I can find, maybe a little bit deeper, I could make a foundry and do some some casting, maybe in aluminium. It's all part of being self-sufficient. If you can repair things, make things, and that's what I like to do. So I've just basically drilled and attached these to here, so that sits like that, so it's stable. And what I've got to do now is work out where my burner's going to go in. So as I don't have a drill this size, because that's going to be my inlet, I've obviously marked it and drilled around inside of the marks, and I'm going to snip that out and see if I can get a nice snug fit. So I've also drilled a hole in this PVC, because this is, I'm going to use it to form my burn chamber. It's slightly bigger than the hole, and what I'll do is I'll push the pipe in there, fill it up with refractory cement, and just pull it out so I can remove this, so it's clear, you know what I mean. And I've also allowed for 4 centimetres of refractory cement on bottom, so that's not the actual distance. I've got to do is put 4 centimetres in bottom and then insert this and fill it in round. So that's my basic setup. I've got to fill it in. What I've got that is rested on some blocks up to the 4 centimetres underneath. Obviously the blocks won't be in it, but I don't know whether you can see, but I've put a little mark round inside so I can see where my distance is up to me 4 centimetres. And what I'm going to do a dry mix and fill it, and it's going to be half and half mix, half cement and half me perlite or sand cement mix and half perlite. And I'll put my 4 in underneath first to get my base or the back, and then fill it in dry, and then add just a couple of extra for well, for guarantee, for Sikoric insurance, and then I'll mix it and I'll fill it in. But what I want is quite a dry slump, a really dry slump really. I want it to sort of all together, and so I can pull pipe out almost immediately. What I will do with pipe is put a bit of oil around it, and hopefully I'll be able to extract it easier. So that's my dry mix. I measured it using a very high-tech thing, old tin, 1:1. So now I've got to pour that out, mix it to the correct slump. Now I can always add more material if I need to get it a little bit stiffer, let's say, and but I don't want to try. Well, I'm going to try to avoid that. That's full dry. I've got that there. I'm going to add a little bit more. I might just fill that up with vermiculite and make that my mix, and hopefully that should do the trick and fill it. So that's my mix. It's very dry, basically, so you can ball it up like that, but as you can see it's not sloppy. I want it to be stiff, and that'll just break up, but it'll hold its shape. Just took my gloves off and put some more on now, fill it up. So here it is full. I mixed an extra one of them and I've used all of it. I probably could have done 1.5 or 2 and had a bit left over, but I've packed it in quite hard, and it's a very, like I say, very dry mix. I don't want it shrinking, and hopefully it'll dry out and set up nice and quick. And now what I'm going to do is pulp tube. I did oil it, and I'll pull that out a little bit and reposition it, and hopefully we'll be okay cooking on gas. So here it is, just waiting for it to set now. It's finished. If you can see, I don't know if you can see that, I think you can. The pipe that's coming on, that's me. So I'm going to insert my torch, and I might just make a little bit of a slurry mix up and neaten that cap up like. But as far as I know, you can get about 2,500 degrees, maybe more. So I'm hoping to be able to, well, even do some make some knife. This is when I started, funnily enough, and I wanted to harden it again, and I couldn't get it just hot enough with blowtorch. This is from an old file. But I'm going to make a bush knife and a harvesting knife at garden. So a couple of projects I want to do with this, and I'll share it if anybody's interested. So, but I've also been thinking, as it stands now, standing that way up, I could possibly put something that I could take off on this and use it as for smelting, like aluminium and stuff. So I'm going to have a play around with that as well. And incidentally, I think if I put an airline to it, I could fill that with charcoal and do it like that as well, with air rather than gas. So air and charcoal. I'm going to post this now, and I'll do an update on it on weekend. There'll be a couple of videos on weekend. I'm sorry if I'm doing loads and loads of videos, but I only get a certain amount of time, and in weeks pretty hectic. So thanks for looking. Anyway, nice to be nice, and like, comment. I'll get back to you.